Hello again. Late in the day. Been dealing with a lot of questions, a lot of different areas, a lot of everything. People have had a lot of questions in a lot of different stuff, and I can go on to create lots of videos, but I'm not going to. This is not going to be an add-on video to the ones about what type of people are faking the condition versus what a real person with gender dysphoria looks like. This is more along the lines of what is the transmit method. Okay, so how do people get gender dysphoria, and how do some people get the fake version? To do this, we have to go back to the beginning of biology. And sure, this is going to make a bunch of people mad when it comes to like pro-life, and I don't want to have that argument. Okay, the simple fact of the matter is that when we go out into space and we're looking for life, we're looking for a unique DNA strand, and that's the beginning of life. Okay, when you have a unique DNA strand, all the scientists call that life. When we go out looking for signs of life, we're looking for the building blocks that create a unique DNA strand. Now, what is a DNA strand? It's an instruction manual. It is 1,000,000,000 miles long. They always talk about how long this strand is. You know why? Because it's a huge instruction manual. And we have two basically different types of instruction manuals. The male one, the female one. The male one tells you, okay, you're going to have wider pelvic, or excuse me, a narrower pelvic and a little bit more back, and the woman is going to have more of a wider one, and it's going to be shorter because that allows the easy passage. There's all kinds of building block instructions, because as soon as that DNA happens in the woman, the sperm meets the egg and boom, it creates that DNA. It takes half and half and you've got it. That's life. But those books are created, and it is like the building manual for a huge architectural project that takes 21 to 26 years to finish. Okay? And the moment that baby is born, they are a body and mind under construction. And if you've ever been to a construction site that's not done, it's a mess. It's a mess. Kids are a mess. They're gonna be a mess. They're not done. Kids are a mess, and they're stupid, and they think they're, oh yeah, we all know it. This is nothing new. We all know this. Okay? The building blocks start building more blocks, and they start building more cells and more everything, and they keep building. Life is started, and boom, it's going to engineer you, and you are not being done built until that point. Well, first you get big enough to come out of mommy. And when you come out of mommy, there you go, you got that, and then you keep building and building and building. Now, here's the thing, and I mentioned this before, is the genetic building blocks that are inside there do not just build the physical body. Okay, you're going to have this pelvis, you're going to have that pelvis, you're going to have testosterone in a lot larger quantity, you're going to have estrogen in a lot larger quantity. Those are chemicals. Our brain is a chemical-based system. Those chemical building blocks are, in essence, the building blocks of instinct. The thoughts in your head, they are the building blocks that tell your brain, if you're a girl, you need the big, strong guy. They must be tall. That is a sign of being the stronger, more dominant alpha male guy. You want the best DNA, it's going to be in the tall guy. You need the bad boy, because the bad boy is the one with the biggest hammer who can do the damage and da-da-da. Why do you think they're attracted to that? Because it's genetic, man. It's right there. Okay? There's nothing abnormal about it. That's what they're going to like. They all sit there and they fall for the bad boy, but then their mind takes over and goes, I hate the bad boy. I need something like this. And it's like, yeah, because we're not cavemen anymore, you know? And boys go through the same type of thing, okay? Now, when kids are real little, Okay, and the first signs of gender dysphoria start coming in. I know this is going to piss a bunch of people off. Yes, signs of gender dysphoria appear when the kid is 5 or 6. They're not gender dysphoric, okay? You are not gender dysphoric until your brain and body are complete growing and you're stuck, okay? Once the building is complete, if you have it, it's going to be there. It's just like bipolar in that way. Bipolar is not diagnosed until you're 21 to 26 because until then, it could go either way. You could end up with it, you could end up not with it. It's one of those kind of wonky things, and gender dysphoria is kind of like that. Now, for boys, gender confusion shows in a bunch of different ways. And an example, the boy is like, I like the color pink, and I don't, they say that's a girl color, but I like it, but I like this. Boys go through the confusion. A lot of people are going, no, they don't. They don't know what gender is. No, they don't. But they don't understand why they like Tina, the really cute girl over there, and it makes them all upset, so they go pull her hair. Yeah. I'm a boy. I hate girls. But I like Tina. Oh, why? Ugh. Pull her hair. Yeah, that's the confusion. That's what's going on. Why? Because the body is sending out those instructions. Send to this, send to that, do this. They're under construction and they're a mess. Okay? Little things like that happen. Now, here's a big anecdote for you. Before 2007, okay, when I'm talking about gender dysphoria and how it goes, this is all pre-2007. Because after 2007, we had a massive epidemic happen. A new transmission method was introduced, okay, and we're going to get to that. Before 2007, gender dysphoria was about as common as Legionnaire's disease. 1 in 10,000, okay? I want you to imagine this for a second. I know high schools have like about 600 kids in them. Pretend you have a uber big high school and it's 1,000 kids. You need to have 10 high schools worth of kids, and only one of them is going to be like this. Only one is going to be like this when they're 5. They're going to show these little signs. Okay? Now, let's explode this a little bit more, because guess what? They start disappearing. Only one of the students was acting like that when they were 5. By the time they hit puberty, okay, 50% of the cases, they grow out of it. They grow out of it. Now, I was going through the data, and I didn't see anybody else mentioning this, but I found some very interesting things myself, and it would not surprise me if somebody else has already found this, and I just haven't read every book on everything of everywhere. Okay, so it wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of people working on this. But I happened to notice it, and I hadn't read it, so I'm kind of curious. They talk about how no girl has ever not grown out of it before puberty. It's almost as if, and it's been commented, as if hitting puberty is like a kicker to throw them out. Well, another set of people that don't get it on the boy side, so no girls ever get it, no teen girls ever continue. They grow out, they're gone, they're out of it. The boys, okay, out of them, there's a subset that never go past puberty. Jewish boys. That's weird. That's a race of people, but they do something unique that's very similar to what teenage girls do. They throw a party. There is an affirmation point for Jews. I know they do the little snip snip, but they have a damn party for the kid. And for girls, you're a woman now, you're a woman. They have this huge affirmation thing they do for girls, and girls do it for each other. Congratulations, you got your period. Congratulations. Do you have it yet? Do you have it yet? You got it. Yay! It's all the time that they're building up till they get it, and then boom, you got it, and yay, I can brag. I've got it. I had it. There's an entire time period, at least a year, when that is an absolutely monumental affirmation of whatever sex they are. Okay? Bar mitzvah time, and they celebrate the fact that they're a boy, and being a boy is good. And being a girl is amazing. It's an amazing thing to be. So they get this affirmation. To me, that is actually the antipathy of what social contagion is when I learned about it. And that's why it kind of struck me weird. And we'll get to social contagion. Now, of the boys, another 40% of who was left of the 1 in 10,000. Okay, so out of rate of 1 in 10,000, you need that many. So if we said not just 10 high schools, we said 100 high schools of 1,000 kids each. Now you've got 50% are gone before they get into middle school. 40% are gone, okay, by the time they graduate high school. That means there's only one left out of 100. Okay, now here's what happens. In every case that has ever gone past the 21 to 26 mark, it's always been a case where they were tracing back abuse, a traumatic event, or something. There was always something that was the antipathy of the bar mitzvah and the congratulations, you got your first period. It was something that codified the confusion in them. And so that person, so either abuse or something, codified it, and then they got stuck with it. So once you're 21 to 26, they finish up the blueprint plans and they say, okay, we're done. You can have new thoughts and learn more things and memories, but your architecture, your building structure, rock solid, baby. You're done. And that's the way it is. So once you hit that 21 to 26 mark, you're stuck with it. Okay, now we don't, and I say that, I don't want to give anybody any false hopes. They would love to cure it. They'd love to find a way around, and maybe they will. Maybe they will. They're still trying. You know, they're trying to find a cure for Legionnaires. They're trying to find a cure for all kinds of mental illnesses. Maybe they'll find it. You don't know. As of right now, they don't have it. So the thing is that when you have all of these parents, like when I talk about the Munchausen's by proxy parents who are sitting there and taking the kid and, oh, I get to have a kid who's transgender, yay. You're abusing the child. That is the abuse that I was talking about. Okay, so when I say that every case that goes and becomes gender dysphoric, there's always been an issue of abuse or trauma or so forth. Yes, it's been that combined with the biological prior to 2007. Okay, after 2007, it's been different. Now, what happened in 2007 that was different? Well, social contagion. Social contagion switches diseases. And what it is that you have, and one of the things is it does affect teenage boys, but it mostly affects teenage girls. And I'll give you the example. The social contagion before this, okay, before transgender, was depression. It was emo. That was the social contagion was causing the depression expressed as emo. Okay? Before emo, what was social contagion carrying around? What was floating around in the air? Bulimia and anorexia. Those are not very common conditions, but they are transmitted very quickly and rapidly to all these people through a social contagion. And it was very big and picked up by a lot of people. So this is what right now, because when you look at the medical community, you have the medical practitioners and then you have the medical researchers who do that, and you have some blend between the two. But the guys who just dedicate to study, the ones that are doing that are looking at this and trying to figure out how to get through this with these people, because when you have it as a social contagion, these are girls who are suffering. Their bodies are not done being built. Okay, they're still getting all of the thought pushes and instincts put in through chemicals, and they're trying to figure out their life. And it's like they just hit puberty and they're like, okay, so I'm supposed to get a guy, but I have zits, and so now I need to pound on the makeup, and I have to get up early and do the hair and do this and do that, and oh, I got to do this, and oh, I got to be the popular one, and I got to be the one of the cheerleaders, or no, I'm not a cheerleader, or damn it, I can't be a cheerleader. How do I fix that? And now you have, so before you had things like bulimia, where it was like, oh, I'm special. I have this and I'm this and it's skinny and it solves my weight problem and all of this. And then the depression, I have an excuse for being this way. And I can identify it and I can make this as part of who I am so that people know and I can get recognized for my pain. And it is a pain. It's growing pains for girls. It really is. They're going through very heavy growing pains. Um, and so the gender dysphoria is a new one. And they're like, it doesn't matter how fat you are, how many pimples you have, how big or small your boobs are, or anything. The girl can go, I can declare this, and all of a sudden, I'm special. I'm unique. And you can't make fun of me. You can't make fun of my zits. You can't make fun of my fat. You can't make fun of anything, because I'm special and protected by that. Because then, if you do, you're making fun of somebody who has this, and therefore you're the bigot. And so you're horrible and I'm better. And they're able to place themselves and do that. They gain that endorphin rush, if you would, from a popularity kick. So this is a huge thing that they're looking into as far as the social contagion. And again, it's looking at it backwards the opposite way when I started to look at things like the celebration for women, because that is what they consider to be the proper care for teenagers and children, is basically just a reaffirmation that, yeah, it's okay. You know what, little guy? You can be a boy and like pink. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Let's go play with some cars, though. Or let's go play in the backyard and throw a ball. Or girls throw balls, too. It's okay. Come on, let's go. You can break down social norms and just do it that way. And that's kind of the thing. It's just, you need to be able to have the kids say, I accept who I am. Because if they get to the end at 21 and they're just, I hate myself, that's what the core of what it is. And it's not good. It's not a good thing to have. You don't want to spend the rest of your life hating yourself. It really is torture, okay, for anyone. So, again, social contagion is just a transmit method, because when one girl gets it and they see that she gets popular from it, they start joining that club and doing that thing, and it's real big. So I'm going to try to keep this shorter than the others, but more thought for you to look at. See you next time. Thanks.